Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Emily. I'm super excited that you clicked on today's video. Welcome to another middle grade Monday. I'm super excited to share these 5 recommendations for you. So in the month of August, I want to kind of break things up and do things a little bit different. So with my business, for those who don't know, I am a private tutor. So I work with kids from going into kindergarten to basically leaving high school. I work the whole gambit, and I'm a math and reading specialist. So I like to read a lot of middle grade that helps kids learn to love reading, because I wouldn't have a job if they already liked to read. So today, because I am getting a lot of younger readers, like kinder, first, second, third, I wanted to share with you guys some of my favorite early readers. Now, these are still chapter books. They're just a little bit shorter, a little bit easier to digest, and shorter chapters, bigger font, more pictures involved, things like that. And I have broken them up into more girly books and more boy books. Now, please don't come after me, okay? Boys and girls can read any of the 10 that you see throughout this month. Please know that. I'm just basing this off of things that I read when I was that age and learning to read and learning to love to read. And then what I work with my clients. There are some books that if I were to give them to my male clients, they'd be like, no, thank you. And then some vice versa with the is back there. Anyway, and what was I saying? Both boys and girls can read both of these, so please don't come after me. But all I know is that books that I liked to read when I was little, a lot of those are on this list, and a lot of the books that I'm reading with my kids, both boys and girls, these are kind of what they are interested in, if that makes sense. Okay, but once again, anyone can read any of these 10 that you will see throughout this month. Nope, I'm not talking to anyone. I'm still filming, but I just had to blow my nose for just a second. Okay. So the first one that I have to mention that saved me as a young reader and I think is pure magic is Junie B. Jones. This is the second one. I have the first one out to one of my clients and they're just loving it. Junie B. is a kindergartner who gets into lots of mischief. She is hilarious. These chapters are so short. There are pictures. And so it makes it easy for kids and excited for kids to read. Junie B. in the first book is not excited to go to kindergarten. She's not looking forward to it. She doesn't want to ride the bus. And as the series goes on throughout her kindergarten year, she just learns different things. In this book, she gets a little brother, which she's like not entirely sure she's on board with. But she calls her teacher Mrs. And these books hold a very, very special place in my heart. They are magic. I love them. I read them in 5th grade when I was really struggling with reading. These are not 5th grade level. These are much younger, but that was the level I was on at the time, and they saved my reading journey for sure. And I've been able to read them with struggling readers, and when we finish them in just a couple of weeks, they're like, Miss Emily, I finished a book, and they're so proud of themselves. So Junie B. is magic. There are, I think, 19 or 20 in the kindergarten series, and Barbara Park, the author, she has made a 1st grade series. I haven't gotten into those because those came out much later than when I was already past my Junie B stage, but I'm sure they're just as adorable. So lots of options there. Okay, the second one is Cam Jansen, and this is the Chocolate Fudge Mystery by David A. Adler. The illustrations are by Susanna Natty. So Cam Jansen are kind of my first foray, if you want to say, into the mystery genre. I loved them growing up. Cam Jansen is a young girl who has a photographic memory. So when things happen at either school or on the playground or in the cafeteria or whatever, She remembers everything, and she has her photographic memory help her solve these cases, like of the missing dinosaur bone or whatever. There are quite a few in this series. They are absolutely wonderful. Leave the door open. Are you coming back, sweetie? Yeah. Okay. Sorry for the pause there. My nephew had to sneak out for just a minute. Okay, so, and it's really funny because every time that she uses her photographic memory, she goes click, like she's taking a picture, which I just loved growing up. So Cam Jansen is definitely one that I would recommend to any reader. Are you calling me, bud? Never mind. Okay. What, sweetie? What do you need? Okay. My next one that I actually read in my college student lit class was called Ivy and Bean. I'll put the picture right here. They're adorable. I've only read like the first two because, like I said, I found them when I was in college, but I loved them. From what I remember, it's about two girls. One of them moves into town, into their little cul-de-sac. And one is more of a tomboy and one is more of a girly girl. Perfect. That's a funny dance. Oh, be careful with the cord. Okay, are you going back over here?
I'm going to stay here and go back.
Okay.
I'm going to stay here.
You're gonna stay right there? Okay, sounds good. And so one is more of a girly girl, one is more of a tomboy, and so when they come together, they're not entirely sure they're gonna be friends, but then they end up being friends. If I remember correctly, one of them has an older sibling that's a little bit of a, they like to tease and like to prank and things like that. I love them. Once again, they were similar in length to these two. Very digestible, very perfect for those early readers that, or maybe older kids that are struggling to read. Either way, Ivy and Bean, definitely a good option. Okay, my next one is one of my favorites, and my copies are out with kids right now because I'm sharing the wealth. It is my Scooby-Doo collection. I love Scooby-Doo. I have always loved Scooby-Doo. I loved the TV show. I loved the books. I just love Scooby-Doo. I love the movies. Anything to do with Scooby-Doo, I love it. I love mysteries. And so having this gang of friends that love mysteries and solving mysteries, and then a Great Dane. I love Great Danes. I think they're such beautiful animals. I love them. They are short, they are fast, the chapters are shorter, there's lots of colored pictures throughout. Some of these just have black and white pictures, so there were color pictures. I'm reading them with I think she's going into 3rd grade this year, and she's really enjoying it. When Scooby talks, it's a little bit tricky for her sometimes, but she's still enjoying it, and she's like, Scooby-Doo, and I'm like, you've never heard of Scooby-Doo? Are you crazy? Anyway, they're adorable, so much fun. Perfect for boys or girls. I just read them as a young kid, and so I'm putting them in this girl video. Okay, the last one I want to talk about for this video, I'm actually really excited to talk about. I just found it, oh goodness, this last year. So this is a very new find for me. So this is Clementine. I'm not quite sure on the author. I'll put the picture right here. I love Clementine so much. She is this redhead fireball of energy and mischief, and oh my goodness, they're just so stinking cute. I love them so much. It's a series of like 7 or 8 books. They're a little bit longer than these two, but they're still shorter chapters, lots of pictures. I'm reading them with I think she's going into 3rd grade this year. She has finished 3 of the series this summer. It is so exciting to see that the love of books is continuing on in the next generation, and Clementine is a huge part of that. Clementine gets into lots of mischief, and no one understands her, and she's like, well, I'm doing this to help you. And in the first book, her friend Margaret accidentally cuts her own hair with some scissors during arts and crafts one day. And so Clementine, trying to be helpful and friendly, she's like, here, I'll help you. She cuts the other side of the hair. Both sets of parents go absolutely bonker sauce, rightfully so. And then so then Clementine's like, well, no, wait, hold on. I'll cut my own hair so we're matching. And then they try to draw it back, and Clementine hates her name because it's a fruit. And so her little brother, I'm on book 3 with this client of mine, and I still don't know the little brother's name, I don't think. She always calls him a vegetable. So it's like turnip and I, or broccoli and I, or parsnip is screaming, you know. Anytime there's a capital letter on a vegetable, she's talking about her little brother because she refuses to have the only fruit or vegetable name in the family. Oh my goodness, they're just so funny and so cute. And I am loving them, and I'm loving reading them with this client because she is devouring them. And this is someone who really struggled and hated reading when I first started working with her at the beginning of the summer. So that's a huge... that shows the magic of these books. Anyway, in the comments, I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about these books? Have you read any of them? Do you have younger readers that you think might be interested in them? Do you know of any others that might have a girl protagonist that would be good for some of my girl clients? I would love to hear all of your thoughts in the comments down below. All of these books will be linked in the description with all my other fun stuff down there. Go check that out if you so wish. And I will see you again very, very soon. Bye! Okay, you guys, I just had to show you this really quick. My nephew wanted to be in the room with Auntie as I was filming. And so he brought in snacks. He brought in all of his books. He was cutting up pieces of paper and decorating my shelves. He has one of my stuffed animals. He had all the books because Auntie was dealing with books, and so, of course, he had to as well. He just sat back here and was so funny. He's like, Auntie, what are you doing? Well, I'm filming, bud. What are you filming? Why are you filming? And he had all the questions. So that might be why this was a little bit of a chaotic video, because I had a little buddy with me the whole time.